else might be there. I need to move down. This camera's always wrong. Is it to be up or down? I don't know. Don't know. It's never in the... Never in the right place. But see who comes in first. Oh, I'm so chilled. So chilled. We've got Yongi. Yin and Yang's downstairs. He's here. He's here. So cute. So I'll just give it a few minutes. We've got Indigo Rays. Hello, Mrs. Got a couple more either sat in chat. We might have people sat in chat who are nice, and we might have lurkers as well. I do not know. Well, I do know. Oh, I've just realised that this was here. I was looking for this the other day and actually I'm thinking, oh, it's on my side table. Selenite heart. Remember me showing it? It was actually on my bedside doodah, so I'll put that back. A dotting about around the house. Let's see who else comes in. Hi, Dobsy. Dobsy, Dobsy. We've got Dobsy in the house. I'll just give it a few minutes or so. Oh, we've got 7. Me number 7. 7 heaven. I'm just going to pull a card for myself out of the Witch's Wisdom Oracles. And then I'll pull one for you guys after, just while I'm just waiting a minute. I just feel very relaxed. We've got 11. 11, we've got Archangel Michael in the house. Hi. I got a live chat. You got a live chat. You did. Oh, happy birthday, Finn. Thank you, Indigo Rays, as you did say when I said you didn't have to, but thank you very much. Yes, he had a lovely birthday. He's at his dad's now. He's lucky he gets 2, but yeah, I did the little video this morning for everyone who was saying, you know, happy birthday to him. Ah, thank you, Mary. And you know, I know there's quite a lot of you who've been with me from the beginning who used to see the little videos, not a lot of videos I used to put up when Finn was a baby. So you have seen him sort of grow up through the time that I've been on YouTube, and he's 6 now, so I can't even believe, you know, I started YouTube and he was a baby, and I mean a baby. So that is mad. So that's how long I've been on YouTube for, roughly. Not that I'm counting. Very surreal, but I feeling troubled about something. Stay strong. Oh, are you? Because we've just been saying today, we've been feeling very, yeah, there's something in the air, but to me, not bad. Yeah, there's a lot of energy. And I've just been laughing at something I'll show you in a minute as well. And my sister said that as well. Yes, Archangel Michael. It's not going to be a long chat tonight anyway. And, well, this might pick your spirits up. Obviously, it's a joke thing, but I was just laughing my head off at it. Just let me see what card jumps out. If anyone knows her, and I always get her name wrong, Jen McCarthy on YouTube. I follow her on Instagram, and she's put a video up before, and it just cracked me up because I'm going to show you. Probably can't put the music on, but it is da 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 da. So you've got to imagine that music, but I'll show you if I can find it. Hi Chris G, hi Deanie. So I was just laughing at this before I came on here when I was making a cup of tea. I was laughing my head off. You've got to have a laugh, you know. Just let me find her. Oh, I couldn't stop laughing. Let me see if I can find her. What's she called on here? There she is. I had to put the music down, but I couldn't stop laughing at this. You ready? It's Biden. And then the music went, and then the music comes on. Da 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 da. Young man. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oh, it just cracked me up. There's loads of things like that going about, but it absolutely cracked me up because, you know, if you know, you know what's going on over there. But, you know, I've not been sticking my nose in anything because I'm just following what I've been following and knowing what that is without getting mad about it, and still just like, yeah, very aware, but not got my head stuck in it. So that's fine. Who's texting me now? Let's see. What's going on? Oh, yeah, I just said to my fella, something like, I've just had avocados on toast, with chili flakes and garlic in, and my favourite salt, pink Himalayan salt with tomatoes on. It's over on my community page because I'm using the hi Ricardo, hi Colin Ivan who's come chat. I'm using the seed to grow a plant. I've done it before when you put things in the side and put it in water. So I'll be doing that. So my fella went, oh, I don't really know if I like avocado on toast. I said, you will do. I'll put a spell on you and then you'll like it. And then he just sent me this. You will like avocado on toast. It's lovely smashed. I think he thinks like lumpy avocado. I'm like, no, it's smashed, it's blended, it's got garlic in it, it's got chili flakes in it. You spread it on toast like a spread and then you put tomatoes on it. Go and check my community post. It's yummy, scrummy. So yeah, just let me do this with the cat. Lisa, I feel like for odd reason you personally. I don't know why Lisa, I hope you're not talking to me. I'm not personally defeated. I think that's a bit of a silly thing to say. You might be feeling that. Why would I be personally defeated? Can I please stand back from what? Have we got a troll in the house or what's going on there? Am I reading something wrong? Personally been defeated? I haven't been defeated by anything. And I don't stand down for nothing. Stand up for what I believe in. Don't know what I'd be personally backing down from, if that's what you're getting at. Don't know if that's what I'm reading right in chat, but yeah, that's what I thought. Don't think so. I don't stand down for nobody. Thank you very much. I know my own energy and what's going on in my own life. Thank you very much. You know, these cycles of life. Deflated, Dolly. I'm not deflated. I've just come on and said I'm feeling very relaxed and chilled. I'm just about to say, because no one's given me chance to speak yet. This is why people should listen. Do I look sad? No. I said I'm very calm because I've had a beautiful day. It's been Finn's birthday. He's had a beautiful day, which I'm going to tell you about in a minute. And then something else happened today, which was beautiful as well. A lot of beautiful things happen. And I'm going to show you this book that I've just picked up before, one of my handmade little notebooks that, you know, when you're looking through pictures and going, it's a calling, it's a calling. Yes, so let someone speak before they get the day out. I haven't been feeling, I mean, sorry if that's what you think, I haven't been feeling deflated at all. There's nothing to feel deflated about. What would I feel deflated about? I've had a brilliant day with Finn. He had a lovely morning where my fella stayed over, so he'd be here in the morning to see him get up. At 7 o'clock, he normally gets up early in that. He put his toys out, his presents out in a trail, so we had to go around the trail and then get his big present at the end, which was his garage. And then, yeah, he just had a nice day. Then his cousin came round with my sister, and they had a bit of a play for an hour or so. And then they had pizza, his favourite snack sort of thing. And then they had chocolate cake, and then he went to his dad's. Obviously, he has 2 birthdays because he went to his dad's. So, hi Lois and everyone in chat. So, hi Sky. So, he had that, and then, you know, he's just had a happy day today. We went to the supermarket because he got some pennies off his granddad, my dad. So, you know, there's not really many toy shops around here. So I said, they've got some stuff in there. If you see something, you can buy it, but you can go up to the till and you can pay the lady. So with his £20, he went to the till and he's actually, he was in the supermarket. Bless this older woman who was there, lovely woman with white hair. She's like, oh, he's like, it's my birthday today. He was telling everybody it was his birthday, and she's like, oh, are you 8? And he's like, no. And she was trying to guess his age, and he's like, I'm 6. So she was like, oh, so every time he saw her, he kept speaking to her. And then when we got to the till, she was at the till. So she's like, oh, what have you picked? And he picked these like Spider-Man toys. And he was talking to her again at the till. So she was like, bye. And he said, bye, said, bye, say bye to the lady. So he was like, bye. So he's been happy today. He's happy most times. You've seen his drawings. And then he gave the lady the £20. But then we had to go and sort something out because it was actually cheaper than he got some change back. And I said to him, do you want to go to the other shop to go and get like some pencils and stuff? He said, yeah. And then he went, no, I'm going to save it. So he's going to save his money because my fella made him a money box out of a big empty paint tin thing that we cut out a dinosaur and stuck on the front of it. So we're going to use that as a big like money box thing. I don't know how long that'll last, but that he said he's saving his £4. So he's saving his £4. Sometimes you can get deflated the biggest job. I'm not deflated though. So Lisa, I'm fine. You don't have to keep going on about it. I think you might be digging into something else. I'm not deflated. I have my child's a normal 6-year-old, but I'm fine. He's back at school next week as well. So like I've just said, he's had a good day. And I'm not deflated by anything, so that's fine. I've been doing it on my own for a bit. I'm not on my own at the minute anymore. I mean, I'm not living with someone, but I'm not on my own. I have good friends and family around, so it's fine. So, yeah, you're not picking up from me, Lisa. You're picking up from somebody else. People I speak to in this chat, that's not me, love. So, could be somebody around you. I just feel like another card. If I was deflated, I wouldn't be on YouTube. And that's why I've come on now, because I'm feeling very relaxed. I've just had a salt bath, a Himalayan salt bath. I thought I'd come on and share something beautiful with you guys, so I'm going to. Yeah, I am. I'm very, like I said, I haven't had my head in the news. I don't watch the news. I don't buy newspapers, I'm very aware of what's going on, but I don't, I'm always away from family and solitude at the moment. Yeah, might be picking up on other people, but, you've got to make it the best you can, Some people are in my situation, even when I was, not with someone for 5 years, and it's nearly 5 years, and people can moan about that because they're not with someone. It's like, oh, take advantage of it and do your own thing for a bit, because when you do get with somebody, you do have to make, you do have to balance things out, and you have to have a bit of give and take, and you do have to let someone in and be with their things as well as you are with them. So, it's the way you look at things, silver lining. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is a journey, isn't it? So I'm just going to pull one more card, and then I'm going to show you what's in this book, and then I'm going to tell you something, another beautiful thing that happened today. So, this one's intent. I'm going to have to do 3 now. I can't even say this word. Intensification. Well, everything's intensifying at the minute. I can't even say that word with energies and stuff. Look at that picture. That's meant to be, oh God, what's it called? Can't even think. Stonehenge. But everything's intensifying at the minute with all the things going on. That's why people can get caught up in other people's energies, But that ain't mine. Greetings from Vermont, Leslie. Oh, where's that? Where's Vermont? Is that America? Is that just me being... I don't know. I don't know. It sounds American, but I'm not quite sure. So let me sort this camera out. It's not a camera, it's a tablet. Right, so did I say one more card? Yeah, let's go for number 3. Is the magic number. 3 is magic. Oh, there we go. Oh no. Oh, one card. Yeah, that's just the way it goes sometimes, though, I'm over all that, Thank you, Lisa. I'm sorry if that sounded a bit off before, I just didn't know where that was coming from, but yeah. Got to make the best of it, though, Oh, is this the one I just got for cycles? It's all a cycle of life, people. I will say something, Lisa, anyway, or to anyone who's thinking that out there. You got to remember, it is hard, but tell you what, I'd rather be on my own than the person I used to be with. I'm telling you that now. Oh, all day, every day. All day, every day. So I will pick a card after for you guys. So what you all saying in chat? Yeah, I can see you all saying about family and people who are away from family, all that. It is tough, and it is tough. That's why you've got to try and make the most of everything, and not not dwell on things too much, because we all know there's going to be better things coming in the end. But just try and the silver lining, and keep that in your mind at all times, and it will help you. But like you're just saying in chat, and Archangel Michael, we're not alone, because that's why we're all connecting on here as well. That yes, it can be lonely in these times, especially with what's going on, and families who may be split and things that are going on. But this is why it's great that, you know, we do have the internet, you know, at the minute through these times. Think how lucky we are. We are so lucky they didn't take it down with, especially when 2020 started. Can you imagine? If you think you feel lonely now, can you imagine how lonely you'd feel if you didn't have this and we weren't all connecting the way we are, and wherever you go and connect with people? Yeah, and as Ricardo said, we all go through different things that don't go our way. Yeah, we all go through it. Just like I said, where's the card? Where have I just put it? Where's this? Well, that card just came up, the cycles. We all go through cycles. We all go through shit. Maybe at different times, different things. But we all, no one can say they don't go through shit, because they do. I've been through a bit. Everybody has. But, you know, it's been a bit calmer. We all go through different things. But it's the way you deal with it as well. And you'll always have little bits, and then it'll go flat again for a little bit, and then it'll, and like I said, I do believe it's what you put out and what you bring in as well. So, oh, it's the Doom Show, last train out. Woo! It's nice to see people who used to come in a bit ago. So, you know, well, thank you, Lisa. You never have grown. You never have been the beautiful Dolly Daydream if ever you had stayed in your past. Exactly. So, I mean, funny enough, you've just said that, Lisa, because it goes into what I'm about to tell you in a minute. Is there's a lot of you that are here or in the background watching, that don't comment, that have watched my growth from when I first came on YouTube to now, and how it's going to change again next soon is and a lot of you are seeing that because you've probably seen it in yourself as well. But yeah, so I think maybe, Lisa, you were connecting with something in my past when I was deflate. I can't even say the word now. Deflated a lot in the past of that energy you're talking about. Not now, but in the past, just before I came on YouTube, because that's a reason why I came on YouTube, was to well, I'll tell you in a minute, because it goes along with the story of what happened today. And funnily enough, Lisa, Thursday, which it is today, is corresponds to Jupiter, and Jupiter is known for growth and opportunity. So there you go. And here's the lovely Eve Austin, who I will be talking about in a minute, because it's this lovely lady, this lovely soul in chat, that rang me up today with a lovely, beautiful message. Even though there's a lot of you that have sent me beautiful messages as well, so ought to all you lot as well over the years. But I'm gonna share your story, Eve, today. Not your story, but what you said today, because it was so beautiful. I did want to tear up at one point because it was so beautiful. But I'm gonna say it in a minute. So I picked one of these books up, and this is what I mean about growth. You know, you can tell by my channel it's growing, as in growth wise of me, because, you know, I'm not staying in the same things I was a little bit, well, certain little things, but I think a lot of you can see my growth, and I know you can. So Jupiter today also corresponds with good fortune, blessings, enthusiasm, zest for life, opportunities, abundance, horizons, possibilities, confidence, adventure, ethics, and morals. Very nice. Love you, Dolly. Shine bright. Thank you. So I'll go into the story in a minute, but where I'm going of what you're going to soon see, of what I was talking about a couple of days ago, which doesn't matter in a minute, because there's a few things I want to read out next week before I go into it, and where my path's taking me. A lot of you have seen my artwork. Now, I was showing my sister some of my artwork, the big blue bean thing that I did, and she was like, oh my God, and she's writing poems now. Wait till I read some of her stuff out. She's brilliant. come from a creative family. But this little book that people have seen before, and I just picked up and thought, oh yeah, so what was in this book? Because everybody knows I have doodles everywhere. And I just thought, oh, you know, I sort of journal in artwork. So you've seen this before, but it's just this thing of where my path is going, and you can see it in my drawing. So there's the lady asleep or got her eyes closed. And then because it bleeds onto the next side, oh, she's awake. She's awake. She's and then there was this picture if it was just flowers. And then I love this one. This one I just saw and when just a load of energy came out of it because I was like, bing, poof. It's a fairy. So why the hair's normally up in my drawings is, to me, it's like a fairy connection to earth, but the hair up's cosmic connection, if you get what I'm saying. So I know you can't see properly in this light, really, but... And then the next one was, oh, it was just, you know, doodles. Someone will go, the one eye, it's just an eye. I mean, I did wear these beautiful, I know you can't see them properly, blue butterflies today, because I just thought I'd represent the magenta pixie, because people have been having a go at magenta pixie for a husband putting butterflies in the videos, because people get so paranoid thinking it's MK Ultra. It's absolutely ridiculous. To this community it means transformation, but you know, there's too much paranoia going on, too many rabbit holes not come out of. So, and then there was this one. These are just doodles. The eyes mean consciousness, but there's a guy there in this one, right? And I'm like, oh yeah. And then this one, I love this. This wasn't drawn in with pen, it was just drawn in with purple crayon, and it says on it, magic. Oh, what does it say? I'm trying to read it. Magic energy. Oh, magic energy. One of the same, because magic is energy, energy is magic. If you want to call it magic, it's magic, it's energy. So, pardon, yeah. So, don't know if you can see, but we had the girl, someone will go, oh, she's got a flower over one eye, Illuminati. No. Oh, but it makes me laugh. And then they've got this fairy. This is a fairy. She's got little wings here. If you can see the pencil, and she's blasting out energy, and it's love hearts. It's love hearts. Anyone getting me drift? And then there was some other faces and eyes. This was when I went camping and we were all had a drink last year. We were all like, draw an eye, draw an eye. There's my eye. There's someone else's eye. And there's, I don't know whose eye that was. That says, I don't know what that says, but I think there was a lad and a girl and they were trying to draw eyes, and we were all just trying to draw eyes when we had a drink. So, this one, this picture. Lisa, Dolly, you are so strong. I'm so proud. Many people don't see, but you are so spiritual. You make me smile, Dolly. You are so spiritual. I hope you know you're stronger than... Well, Lisa, you'll probably like what I'm going to say in a minute, and it's funny that you're saying that, because, I mean, we all are, it's just, I think, us who are on YouTube with a platform just give a lot of light and energy to people, even though you lot are strong, but we're all giving to each other, you know. Like I said, if we didn't have the internet, it'd be a lot, you know, harder for people and us. Hi, Rachel Pixie. And then I had a little witchy woman thing going on here. Where is it? Oh, you can't see because it's not penned in. Some things I haven't finished off. And then I had a little fairy there. And then I had... See, it's all... This book's from last year or somewhere. This face. And on this face, it says all round, it's got the hearts. See, if you can manifest your little spells up with words, I manifest them in my pictures as well. So it says, I am free, divine, creative, loved, worthy, healthy, wealthy, happy, balanced. Speak well to yourself. You know, I've been talking about self-love. And then there was this 8-8 Lionsgate thing last year. Hi, Sue Clark. There was another in this. this was a thing like with me and my fella that I'll just share, but I don't know if I told the story on this or what, I don't know, but I was sort of trying to indicate a picture. Trees, me and him, blah blah blah. Learn to Love You. This one. And then so many special spanners. This one's got writing on it and it says, remember who you are. You are a bridge between two worlds. And then it says, let me read it. Remember who you are. I can hardly see this. You are a bridge between two worlds, non-physical and the physical. Because we have a consciousness not like all beings, I don't even know what this says, we are the ones that can guide, help and build all in this earth realm. Guardians of the, it goes round, guardians of the earth, earth keepers. That's what I wrote down. And then this one says, oh, funnily enough, happy, or I can never say this word, happy, oh, I can never say it, say haim, oh, Halloween, but I can never say that word of it, 2020, but it's got, you know what in it. And it says, lights overcoming darkness. This was last year. All light coming in strong now. Higher calling, higher states of consciousness. And then there was this little drawing. And then there was this one. High bow. And then, was there any more? Oh yeah, there was this one. It says wake up and smell the, should say coffee. And then Shay, I'm a bit dyslexic, so it doesn't matter if you write it. I can't hear you saying it. And then this one I'm going to read out. We had this one, and it says, abundance for all in peace, harmony, joy, love, wealth, health, creativity, passion and laughter. To understand why trauma had to happen to awaken humanity. Learning to release and let go past baggage and what others think. To balance out their chemicals, to balance out their chemical soup within, alchemizing it, because it's all alchemy, baby. That's what I'm going to be talking about. Transmuting, change form, change the format of the story to a different page. It's your story to tell, your experiences, and we all learn through our own experiences. So that's why I said no one can tell you anything. You learn from your own experiences. And these are the experiences I'm having. We've got like a witchy woman there again. And she's got 1 foot in water, 1 foot on the earth. 1 hand with fire and 1 hand in air with a bird. Funny enough, I've got a bird. Earth, air, fire and water. And spirit, the ether. Yeah. And then we've got this going on here. And then we've got this going on here. And it says, love, peace, golden age. And you've got the moon cycle. Woo, around there. And yeah, there's just a few notes and bits and bobs. And that was it. But basically, I think you can always tell where I've been going in my art, and personally when I look back at my art, thank you, I know you can't see it properly in this light, it just shows me where it always has been taking me. Mystical and witchy wooified, and that's what I'm going to be talking about very soon. So anyway, as I said, the beautiful story, and the cards I pulled out today were, and I love the way these are lined up as well, was the Tower, the Strength card, but the way she's looking at the Tower with the Lion, because everybody's had Tower moments, and it also means, you know, as I say, as a lot of us say, the old system is falling down, and a lot of people are going to feel like that. That's a massive, like, oh my God, but it's not really. But you've got to have strength to know what is that going on, and have strength to stand your ground and just observe, like she's observing. She's like, yeah, well, we don't really need this now. I'm going to stand in my strength, and we're just gonna stand. And then patience is a virtue, by the way. And then we've got this Four of Wands as well, which is two people in the middle. Happy times ahead, relationships, or could be a communion between you and your higher self, or friends, anything. Good times ahead anyway. From this, standing in your strength and your light, to this, better times ahead. And then lots of abundance with family, friends. Pentacles are earthly, also can be to do with money and abundance that way. But I sort of see that as golden pennies, the golden age, it's coming in. We've got to have all, this is what's happening at the minute in the world. But you've got to stand strong while it's all going on. You've got to stand strong while it's all going on. So that's all I'm saying. But anyway, so like I said, this is a little chat. So thank you all for your messages of, happy birthday to Finny. Really enjoyed seeing that. That's why we did the little video. Now, the lovely Eve, who was, she's probably sat listening, is somebody who has purchased a few of my things that I do on my Instagram. My handmade things that I do, handmade. Like, I think, if I'm correct, Eve's had one of these chakra necklaces with the stars on, but it was gold. And my chakra earrings that I wear sometimes. And I think she had a couple of things, but she did order some more earrings the other day. Some chakra earrings for a friend. And yeah, I can't remember. But anyway, the necklace. So I sent them off. Sent them off. And then when Finn, I can't remember, Finn was here, I'd nipped out to have his haircut because he had to go and have his haircut. Hi, Effie. She rang me because I've spoke to her before on stuff I was doing before, because I do speak to quite a few guys who come into chat or have done in the past or that, whatever. Anyway, she rang me and she said, I've just got to tell you, your beautiful jewellery came today, and the energy I felt, because they had a lot of good ass energy on them and intentions, was absolutely amazing. And when I put them in, I could feel it go through me, uplifting energy. And I hope Eve doesn't mind me saying, but because Eve's had circumstances that not being a bit well with stuff, she said it had lifted her, and she felt the energy very, very strong with the things that she received, because the intentions of that was on it. Good ass energy, by the way. And I was just so like, oh my God, thank you, but that's what I did put on for you. And then she went on to say, what you're doing on your podcast, because she calls this a podcast, is beautiful, and I like to watch you when I catch you, and it's like, watching a friend, because I've always sat up to the camera like this, like I'm talking to a friend. And she said, I just love it, and it gives me hope and, positivity, and what you've been talking about recently. And I think, like, a lot of the goddess stuff I'm going to be talking about soon, and that is, she said, if I was younger and that, I'd be stood up with you, in that light and that strength of the things that I talk about, and I'm going to be going on talking about soon, because I was like, yeah, these things that I've always been into and I've believed in, more people should talk about it. Yes, there are certain labels that people put out on certain things that they don't understand and predates certain religions and stuff, and if you listen to people, it is actually a beautiful thing. And if the more people knew that, the more people wouldn't be scared, or they don't have to fight just because it's something seemingly different. But I just loved it because it was, she said, and there's Eve now. Yeah, certainly is good ass energy. We love you and what you are doing. Thank you. And that's basically what Eve was saying. But we had a bit of a chat, and it was just lovely to see that. I love the fact that people in chat who have been watching me, maybe not long, but I know there's a few people in chat who've been watching me for a couple of years, and just like who came in before, was it who mentioned before, I'm getting mixed up with names now, can see my growth and where I'm going. And I think a lot of you know that, because either you've been doing it, seeing it in yourself, or are seeing it in yourself, and I think you can work out which way I'm going. And you're seeing somebody's growth happen on YouTube. You know, and there may be things I'm talking about soon that other people won't like, and maybe they'll drop off, I don't know. But that's where I said that's the problem we have in the world. People don't take the time to sit and listen, understand people, even if they're not into it, just to understand things and see where people are coming from. Like, there might be people that don't agree with what I'm going to be talking about soon, but they were into what I was talking about before, and if they can't see it comes from here, you know, this is where the world goes wrong, because, you know, it doesn't matter about certain things, it's where it's all coming from, and if it's coming from the heart. Yes, beautiful spiritual growth. Thank you, Rachel. And I know, Rachel, you've been in for a while, and you've met me personally as well. And it's just like, I see it on my channel. If I look back, obviously it's recorded, I can see a lot of growth in myself and where I'm going. So yeah, we are moving with you, flowing in the stream of loving care and exploration. Yeah, you're truly inspiring, Janine. Can see it and felt it within myself too, and also others in chat. We have a beautiful little family here with beautiful souls. Love the space and energies here. Yeah, and Archangel Michael. It is, because as much as I talk, when you lot are talking in chat to each other, you're giving off energy, and you're giving energy to me as well in that good ass way, because, you know, everybody sees, well, like mirror reflections. You're seeing something in me that's obviously in yourself as well. And that's what's good. You know, people who don't see it or don't like my channel, like I said, they don't need to watch it. I'm not a mirror of them, because, you know, it's not. Feel we might be hanging to old energies for too long. Feel we might be hanging on to old energies for too long. Yeah, what do you mean, Rainbow Warrior? Do you mean people do? And people, I mean, it's all about letting go, isn't it? And that's the thing of like, yeah, where I'll be going next is like, I can let go of the other things. I don't have to be attached to everything. There's something that I am attached to, because it'll never be unattached, which is nature, which is the energy of nature, the spirit of nature, the magic of nature is, you know, you can't really be attached from that, can you? And Dolly Daydream, I've only been watching you for several months and have witnessed your beautiful energies grow. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Indigo Rays. But yeah, and that's why I know a lot of you, and you've got Deanie with all these rainbows and everything, a lot of you understand, because you're either, like I said, starting it yourself, you're on it or you've been on it, and you can see when people start to evolve, because that's what we're all doing anyway. You know, we all do it at different stages and ages. Dolly follows the rainbow. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the rainbow bridge, the both realms. Following the rainbow bridge to your spiritual higher self. You know, from your earthy self to your higher self. We are the rainbow bridge. We connect both realms. Like I said, there's something, I don't know whether to do it now. I don't know what, it's looking at me and I'm like, do we do it now? Right. Just because I said between worlds, I'm going to read something out to you. It's a beautiful book, because I'm going to just read a little bit out. If I say something wrong, remember, I'm dyslexic, so don't try and spell it out to me, because it just won't happen. But it's just looking at me on the bed. Now, I got this book a few days ago, and if you remember the blue face in my picture that I caught, and that's another whole level of stuff that I'll be talking about anyway, but if you don't know what I'm going to be talking about soon, I'm going to be talking about the way of the goddess. You could say witchy woo, witchcraft, Wicca, whatever. You're going to be seeing a few talks on a few things, but a lot of it is the goddess, because that's what it is. So anyway, this book was calling me the other week, and it's called The Spiral Dance, a rebirth of the ancient religion of the great goddess. We don't mean man-made. We don't mean man-made. So it was this. Right, I'm just going to read this little bit, because what I'm going to do is, I'll be reading a bit to you next week as well. Be like story time with Dolly. But there was a part in this book where I nearly spat my tea out. I'm just going to see how far I can read to, and then I'll leave it for another time. But I nearly spat my tea out at one point. I was like, I've been here before. I have been here before, but I'm just like, so get ready. You do make me smile, Dolly. You are so sweet. I don't know, yeah. Well, everybody's spiritual, aren't they? Because I always say, when people say, oh, you're spiritual, it's like people are just remembering we're spiritual because we come from spirit, we come from God, goddess, we come from the source. So, and we were born that way, but we forget. So people think they're separated, but they're not. You know, whatever you want to call it, we're not. We're just, people are remembering. Not that I was ever separate, because I've always believed in certain things, do you know what I mean? I've never been atheist or anything like that, but I'm not into man-made religion as such. So I'm just not going to look at chat now. So it says, just because when, who is it? Oh, I'm forgetting who it was. Because, where's it gone? Lisa said about the rainbow. So witchcraft, because we've got to get, I want to start talking about this because we've got to get around this, you know, people getting scared. And you know, if there's a lot of people out there who are religious and you're on my channel as well, maybe you should just listen before you comment, because you know, each their own and all that, but it does need talking about, you know. And if you're not into it, it's fine, but you should just listen. So witchcraft as goddess religion, because some people out there might actually find out, you know, they might be calling out about certain things and then they actually realise you've been doing it as well. It's a bit like, so let's see. That was a bit of a witchy laugh, wasn't it? So, right, come here, there's more. I need to move you up. I feel like, you know, you're up to me, but I just feel like I need to, like, read you a story. Right, can we all get tucked up in bed now? Go and get your hot cocoa. Let's see if Dolly can read a book. Ooh, angel eyes, that's why Dolly sees the... Oh, thank you. So, oh, they'll be out tonight, I'm telling you. Between the Worlds. You ready? Oh, Sue's in bed. There you go. Sue's in bed. Right, everyone else get in bed. Even if it's daytime, get in bed. Right, Between the Worlds. The moon is full. Are you ready, kids? Remember, I used to be a nursery nurse. Right, kids, sit down. Stop picking your nose. Archangel Michael, sit down. Stop messing with that girl's there. Right, Effie, what are you doing? No, you're not going to the toilet. No, sit down. You've got to listen. No, we're not chucking paper aeroplanes about. Anyway, right, joking. So, Between the Worlds. The moon is full. We meet on a hilltop that looks out over the bay. Below us, lights spread out like a field of jewels, and a faraway skyscrapers pierce the swirling fog like the spires of fairy tale towers. The night is enchanted. Our candles have been blown out, and our makeshift altar cannot stand up under the force of the wind. As it sings through the branches of the tall eucalyptus, we hold up our arms and let it hurl against our faces. We are exhilarated, hair and eyes streaming. The tools are unimportant. Because like I said before, you could have tools, crystals, this, that and the other, blah, 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 blah. It's unimportant, but we like them things sometimes. We have all we need to make magic. Our bodies, our breath, our voices, each other. Making magic right now in this chat. The circle has been cast. Circles, circles, people. The invocations begin. All dewy sky sailing pregnant moon, who shines for all, who flows through all. I'm going to get this wrong. I'm going to butcher these names. I know I am. Arade something. Diana. Let's just say Diana and some other names of the moon. Sailor of the last sea, guardian of the gates, ever dying, ever living radiance. Dionysus, oh God, these names are rubbish. Osiris, Pan, Arthur, on and on. There's many names, remembering everything. All the same really, just all different names. The moon clears the treetops and shines on the circle. We huddle closer. A warmth. A woman moves. Hang on. Right. Just let me just... This is need to stick here. I might feel like I'm bending my neck round. Right, that's a bit better. So, start again. For warmth, a woman moves into the centre of the circle. We begin to chant her name. Diana, Diana. Ah, the chant builds, spiralling. Voices merge into one endlessly modulated harmony. The circle is enveloped in a cone of light. Which is cone? Sorry. Spiral. Cone of light. Then, oh, my eyes twitching now. Then, in a breath, silence. You're a goddess, we say to Diana, and kiss her as she steps back into the outer ring. She's smiling. She remembers who she is. You wonder why, whether people believe she's alive or not. I'm not really talking about that. They tried to do what they did to Princess Diana. Always up to something, aren't they, if you get what I'm saying? Anyway, one by one, we will step into the centre of the circle. We will hear our names chanted. Feel the cone rise, spiral. Around us, we will receive the gift and remember, I am goddess, you are goddess. Well, it says, I am goddess, you are God, goddess. All that lives, breathes, loves, sings, and in the unending harmony of being is divine. In the circle, we will take hands and dance under the moon. And then it says, and I'm going to go on. Like, woohoo. Do you want me to go on with me crappy reading? But I will do. Because like I've said before, anything divine is creative. Singing, dancing, arts, whatever. That is all divine. Do you want me to carry on a little bit? Hearts, if you want me to carry on a little bit longer. Because I'm going to carry on anyway. Oh, thank you, Effie. What do you mean? Anyway, it's so evil. I'm going to carry on because it's so evil. Isn't it evil? Oh, it is evil. I'm going to carry on with the evilness. Are you ready? Hi, Anna-Marie. I'm going to carry on with the evilness. More evil. Are you ready? Yes, I'm going to carry on. Hi, Suzette. So I'm just going to carry on now. So, not like if you said no, I wasn't going to carry on. Right, because I'm on one. So, see, the energy's bringing me up. On every full moon, I turn into a werewolf. I'm not joking. It doesn't say that at all. Oh, thank you, Lisa. So, on every full moon, rituals such as one described above take place on hilltops. We're not talking about their rituals. If you've been in some rabbit holes, yeah, they've got some because they're the dark side. We're talking about the light side. So I'll carry on just in case anyone's listening after and's like, ooh, Dolly's a dark witch. Like, no, learn there's two sides. Learn there's two sides. Oh yes, all women on this planet are goddesses. Exactly, Colin. So, on a full moon, rituals such as the one described above take place on hilltops, beaches, in open fields, and in ordinary houses. Writers, teachers, nurses, computer programmers, artists, lawyers, poets, plumbers, and auto mechanics. There's a lot of other people that do that are on the other side for other groups, if you know what I'm talking about. Women and men from many backgrounds come together to celebrate the mysteriousness of the triple goddess of love, birth, and death, which I would say maiden, mother, crone. You know, like you're the maiden, and then you turn to a mother, and then you turn to the crone energy. And the consort, the hunter, who is lord of the dance of life. The religion they practice is called witchcraft, you know, and that's where the churches came in and were like, oh yeah, the hunter, you know, with his horns on his head like the devil. It's like, no, it's just really referencing nature's cycles and stuff, you know, if you really look in depth in it. But that's how people literally read things like, oh my god, he had horns on his head. Oh my god, when these pagans and things do this thing with horns on his head. Oh my god, it's like the devil, because he's like horns on his head. It's like, yes, well, you would think that, wouldn't you? Well, this is why people need to look at stuff a little bit differently, you know? So just saying, I'm on that energy today, just saying. Can you not tell? Witchcraft. Witchcraft is a word that frightens many people and confuses many others. In popular imagination, witches are ugly and old hags riding broomsticks, because that's what Hollywood like to put out, or evil Satanists performing obscene rites. Well, we do have them on the other side. Modern witches are thought to be members of the kooky cult. Ooh, the kooky cult. Primarily concerned with the cursing enemies by jabbing wax images with pins and lacking the depth, the divinity, and seriousness of the purpose of a true religion. But witchcraft is a religion. Well, no, actually. Well, they say Wicca is, even though Gerald Gardner, which I'll be talking about again, brought back into date. But some would say witchcraft isn't a religion. But then again, if you look at it, it sort of is, but not man-made religion, if you want to look at it like that anyway. I'm not getting into that. Perhaps the oldest religion extant in the West. Its origins go back before Christianity, Judaism and Islam. So that's what some people need to get their head round. Before Buddhism and before Hinduism, as well as in its very different form, all the so-called great religions, the old religion. So we'll say old religion, not the new man-made. So as we call it, it's closer in spirit to Native American traditions, yes, or the shamanism, or the Arctic, I can't say it, whatever that is. It is not based on the dogma or set of beliefs, nor on scriptures or a sacred book revealed by a great man. Witchcraft makes its teaching from nature and reads inspiration in the movement of the sun, moon, and the stars, the flight of the birds, the slow growth of trees, and the cycles of the seasons. So, what's so scary about that? Nice to have a story, but yeah. So, according to our legends, witchcraft began more than 35,000 years ago, when the temperature of Europe began to drop and the great sheets of ice crept slowly south in their, I've got a twitchy eye again, their last advance. Across the rich tundra, teeming with animal life, small groups of hunters followed the free-running reindeer and the thundering bison. They were armed with only the most primitive of weapons, but some among the clans were gifted, could call the herds to the cliffside or a pit where a few beasts in willing sacrifice would let themselves be trapped. These gifted shamans could attune themselves to the spirits of the herds, and in so by doing they became aware of the pulsating rhythm that infuses all life, the dance of the double spiral, of whirling into being and whirling out again. They did not phase this insight intellectually, but in images. The mother goddess, the birth giver, who brings into existence all life, and the horned god, hunter and hunted, who externally passes through the gates of death, that new life may go on. Male shamans, dressed in skins and horns, in identification with the god and the herds, but female priestesses presided naked, embodying the fertility of the goddess. Life and death were continuous stream. The dead were buried as if sleeping in a womb, surrounded by their tools and ornaments. So sounds a bit like the Egyptians, doesn't it? So that they might awaken to a new life. In the caves of the Alps, skulls of the great bears were mounted in niches where they pronounced oracles that guided the clans to game. In lowland pools, reindeer does, their bellies filled with stones that embodied the soul of the deer, were submerged in the waters of the mother's womb, so the victims of the hunt would be reborn. I'll come into chat in a minute. In the East, Siberia and the Ukraine, the goddess was the lady of the, I think it says mammoths or something. She was carved from stone in great swelling curves, always curves, that embodied her gifts of abundance. In the West, the great cave temples of southern France and Spain, her rites were performed deep in the secret room of the womb of the earth, where the great polar forces were painted as bison and horses, superimposed, emerging from the cave walls like spirits out of a dream. I had once a close friend as good as being guilty of putting another friend in hospital because I wasn't wearing... Oh, it's bonkers. The spiral dance was seen also in the sky, in the moon, who monthly dies and is reborn in the sun, whose waxing light brings summer's warmth, and those waning brings the chill of winter. Records of the moon's passing were scratched by bone, and the goddess was shown holding the bison horn, which is also the crescent moon. The ice retreated. Some clans followed the bison and the reindeer into the far north. Some passed over the Alaskan land bridge to the Americas. Those who remained in Europe turned to fishing and gathering wild plants and shellfish. Dogs guarded their campsites and new tools were refined. I'll listen to this bit. Do you want me to carry on a little bit? I was not allowed to be doctor appointment Monday because my before was in temperature with forehead. Oh. I said no, thank you. I am going to need a healthy pineal gland suit. Yeah. Oh, there'll be stuff coming soon. Right, I'll carry on. I'll just pretend you're not hearing me. I'll just carry on. Right. Those who had the inner power. I love this bit. This part of the book. No, I've got that through much of it yet. Those who had the inner power. Those who had the inner power learned that it increased when they worked together. As isolated settlements grew in the villages, shamans and priestesses linked forces and shared knowledge. The first covens were formed. Deeply attuned to the plant and animal life, they tamed where once they had hunted, and they bred sheep, goats, cows and pigs from their wild cousins. Seeds were no longer only gathered, they were planted to grow where they were set. The hunter became the lord of the grain. The lord of the grain sacrificed, as in, the grain. It's where people don't think. Sacrificed, the lord of the grain sacrificed when it is cut in autumn, buried in the womb of the goddess and reborn in the spring. The lady of the wild things, I was looking wild this morning. The lady of the wild things became the barley mother, and the cycles of the moon and the sun marked the times for sowing, reaping and letting out to pasture, because we all know, before pre-Christianity and all that, people did like, what would you want to say, sort of worship the sun and the moon and the elements and the cycles, because it's all to do with when the food grows and all that. We all know this. Most of us do. People forget. Anyway, villages grew into the first towns and cities. Yeah, this is when the problem started, as we know now. Future proves past. The goddess was painted on the plastered walls of shrines, giving birth to the divine child, her consort, sun and seed. In the lands once covered with ice, a new power was discovered, a force that runs like springs of water through the earth herself. Barefoot priestesses trace out ley lines on the new grass. It was found that certain stones increased the flow of power, as we know. They were set at the proper points in the great marching rows and circles that mark the cycles of time. The year became a great wheel, divided into 8 parts, yes, of the seasons and holidays and stuff. the solstices and the equinox, and the cross-quarter days between, when great feasts were held and fires lit. With each ritual, which each ray of the sun and beam of the moon that struck the stones at the times of power, the force increased. They became great reservoirs of subtle energy, gateways between the worlds of the seen and the unseen. Within the cycles, beside the menhirs and dolmens and the passage graves, priestesses would probe the secrets of time and the hidden structure of the cosmos. Mathematics, astrology, poetry, music, medicine, and the understanding of the workings of the human mind developed side by side with the law of the deeper mysteries, the law of the universe. But in other lands, cultures developed what devoted themselves to the arts of war. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock there, isn't it? Bit like now, innit? You know, we've got the art of war that some people like to do. And then you know who brought a book out called, what was it? Oh, what's Mr. T's book called? Not the art of war, the art of... The art of... I've got it downstairs, so I should know. The art of something or other. Someone might remember in chat. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Blah. Out of the deal. Thank you, Chris G. I knew someone out of the deal, not out of the war. Oh, yes. He brought that book out. But they had that book, didn't they? And I'm sure, correct me if I'm wrong, the other book, Out of War, was that not Chinese or something like from Chinese? Just saying anyway. Just saying. So, yeah, so blah, 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 blah. Where have I got up to? Hidden time, cosmos. Outside. Out of War, right. Wave after wave of invasion swept from Europe from the Bronze Age on. Warrior gods drove the goddess peoples out from their fertile lowlands and fine temples into the hills and high mountains, where they became known as the, I'm probably going to say this wrong, she, I don't know how to say it, but anyway, Sidhe, but it might be the she, but spelled different. The Picts or Pixies, do you get where I'm going with this now? The fair folk, fairies, the fair folk or fairies. The mythical cycle of the goddess and the consort, mother and divine child, which had held sway for 30,000 years, was changed to conform to the values of the conquering patriarchies. Oh yes, they did came along, still here, aren't they? At the minute, not for long. In Greece, the goddess, in her guises, married the new gods. The result was the Olympian pantheon. In the British Isles, the victorious Celts adopted many features of the old religion, incorporating them into the druid mysteries. The fairies, breeding cattle in the stony hills and living in turf-covered round huts, preserved the old religion. Oh, just like out of Lord of the Rings. I'd live in a roundhouse. Clan mothers. What you're saying in chat. Clan mothers. Yeah, it's a beautiful book. That's why I had to come and read a bit of it, and I'll read a bit more again. I'm not reading it all, obviously, but it is beautiful. And it was calling me. It was calling me. Clan mothers called Queen of Elfame. I've probably said that wrong, but there you go. Which means elf land, led the covens together. No wonder I had that big thing about Lord of the Rings and the elves. I've already had a thing about elves and stuff like that. As many of you know, I've got weird things that I like or fancy. Led the covens together with the priest, the sacred king who embodied the dying god, and underwent a ritualized mock death at the end of his term of office. They celebrated the 8 feasts of the wheel with the wild processions of horseback, singing, chanting, and the lighting of ritual fires. The invading people often joined in. Yeah, thank you, Lois. often joined in. I've lost my place. They celebrated. The invading people often joined in. There was mingling and intermarriage, and many rural families were said to have fairy blood. It's funny that, because I remember, if anyone knows Lady V, when I had my necklace on my fairy on, and it was the other year talking about orbs and stuff, and she was like, I see the orb. She said something about the fairy energy, and Dolly, I was like, oh. Fairy blood. The colleges of the Druids and the poetic colleges of Ireland and Wales preserved many of the old mysteries. But then again, my second name is Irish as well. Christianity at first brought little change. Peasants saw the story of Christ only a new version of their own ancient tales of the mother goddess and her divine child, who is sacrificed and reborn. Country priests often led the dance at the Sabbaths or great festivals. The covens who preserved the knowledge of the subtle forces were called Wicca or Wiki. WikiLeaks? From the Anglo-Saxon root word meaning to bend or shape, and I'd say light and stuff like that, energy. Do you know what I'm saying? If anyone gets what I'm saying. There were those who could shape the unseen to their will. Healers. Are you ready? Are you ready? Listen to who they are. Healers, teachers, poets and midwives. They were all central figures in every community. Of course they were. They were healers and midwives and that sort of stuff, you know. Persecution began slowly. The 12th and 13th centuries saw a revival of the aspects of the old religion by the trouble, I don't even know what that says, wrote love poems to the goddess under the guise of living noble ladies of their times. The magnificent cathedrals were built in honour of Mary, yes, Mary, who had taken over many of the aspects of the ancient goddess. Witchcraft was declared I can't say it. A heretical act in the 1324. An Irish coven led by Dame Alice Keitsler, probably got that wrong, was tried by the Bishop of Ossory, probably got that wrong, for worshipping a non-Christian god. Dam was saved by her rank, but her followers were burned, because this goes into the burnings. Wars, crusades, plagues, peasants, revolts. Sounds a bit like now, doesn't it? Raged over Europe in the next centuries. Joan of Arc, Joan of Arc, Joan of Arc, the Maid of Orleans, led the armies of France to victory, but was burned as a witch by the English. Maiden is a term for high respect in witchcraft. Your maiden, mother crone. And it has been suggested that the French peasantry loved Joan so greatly because she was, in truth, a leader of the old religion. The stability of the medieval church was shaken, and the feudal or something system began to break down. Got a bit like now. The Christian world was swept by a messianic movements and religious revolt, and the church could no longer calmly tolerate rivals. Wow. And then you wonder why the witch burnings happened. In 1484, now this word makes me laugh because this word was on the You Know Who number 17 map. The papal, I think that's how you say it. What was it on the map, or am I thinking of something else? The papal, Papal, Bull of Innocence, unleashed the power of the Inquisition against the old religion with the publication of the something I can't even read. The Hammer of the Witches by the Dominicans Kramer and Sprenger, is it, or something, on the 1486. The groundwork was laid for a reign of terror that was to hold all of Europe in its grips until well into the 18th century. The persecution was mostly strongly directed against women. Oh, really? I can't think why. Of an estimated 9 million witches executed, 80% were women, including children and young girls, who were believed to inherit the evil from their mothers. Evil. Oh my God. And the whatever of early Christianity, which turned its back on the world of the flesh, had degenerated in some quarters of the church into hatred of those who brought the flesh into being. Misogyny, the hatred of women, had become a strong element in medieval Christianity. Well, yeah. The suppression paper. Oh, yeah, I don't know how to say it. Women who menstruated and gave birth. I mean, how daft is this? Were identified with sexuality and therefore with evil. So because women were menstruating and giving birth and sexuality, that was evil. Right. Let's suppress the women even more. Let's call them evil, call them witches. All witchcraft stems from carnal lust, which is in women. Insatiable, I can't even say that. Stated the, whatever that was called. Sorry, I can't read the thing. It must have been a writing of something. The terror was indescribable. Once denounced by anyone, from a spiteful neighbour to a fretful child, as you know, someone caught a cold or someone did this, oh my God, that person did it over there, absolutely ridiculous. And if you're watching The Discovery of Witches, it's all in there in the second series as well, and they're going about the Scottish as well, Scottish witches. Spiteful neighbour to fretful child. A suspected witch was arrested suddenly without warning and not allowed to return home again. She was considered guilty until proven innocent. It's funny that, because they do that with the Democrats, don't they, if anyone doesn't know. You're proven guilty until proven thingy. No, you're innocent until proven guilty, but they twist it. And that's what's been going on today, if anyone's been keeping up with that over there. With the Democrats, what they were doing. So yeah, it's a bit hi ordinary bear. Future proves past. Just saying. So yeah, innocent. Common practice was to strip the suspected Nate. This makes me laugh, this one. Think about this one. Think about your bodies, right? What might be on it, right? So common practice was to strip the suspect naked, shave her completely in hopes of finding the devil's mark. Do you know what the devil's mark's supposed to be? Let's see if anyone knows in chat. It makes me laugh. Yeah, balance is definitely coming back. Anyone think what the devil's mark could be? I think if you've got it, and especially women in chat, because, you know what they were like, they have to say anything. The devil's marks were, no one said anything yet, moles or freckles, or, a birthmark. So, have any of you lot got freckles or a birthmark or moles? Because I've had a mole there. I'm covered in freckles. I don't think you can see. I'm absolutely covered in freckles. I'm quite freckly. And I've got birthmarks. You're a witch. So if any of you lot in chat, men included, I've got freckles, moles, or a birthmark, you are a witch or a wizard. So, oh dear. You'd be all going down, wouldn't you, to the burnings, or dipping you in the pond, in the river, or whatever, because you used to do drownings as well. So if you are all fucked in chat, just thought I'd let you know right now. Who's got freckles in chat? Have you got birthmark, mole, or freckles? I mean, wouldn't that be everybody? Everybody in chat, you're all doomed. Good job you're not living them. See, you're all like, yeah. So that's the most stupid way of looking at something. Oh, we must strip you down and find a freckle. Well, oof. There might be people who haven't got freckles. There may be people that haven't got moles. There may be people that haven't got birthmarks. So, it's quite a lot of people, So you can tell that to my dad. Comments, do you know what I mean? Oh, cool. Yeah, so you're all buggered. Obviously, I must be one because I'm full of freckles anyway, so, right, let me find where I got up to. Start chopping what I know. So, freckles. Often the accused were pricked all over their bodies with long, sharp needles. Spots the devil had touched were said to feel no pain. I mean, God, this shit they made up years ago. In England, legal torture was not allowed, but suspects were deprived of sleep and subject to slow starvation before hanging. On the continent, every imaginable I can't say this word. Atrocity was practiced. The rack, the thumb screws, all that, boots, broken bones, blah blah blah, and the legs, blah blah blah. The full roster of the Inquisition's horrors. The accused were tortured until this makes me laugh. The accused were tortured until they signed confessions prepared by the Inquisitor. Well, of course they're gonna flipping sign it, you know, if they weren't anyway, because they'd been basically battered to death nearly, so they don't want any more torture, so they're going to sign it. So, you know, it's a bit like the Democrats, really, isn't it? Just saying. Until they admitted to consorting with Satan. Oh my God. Yeah, well, if we battered you on the other side and said you were, you know, converting with something else, they probably, do you know what I mean? Too dark and obscene practices that were never part of true witchcraft. Most cruelly, 13 were taken. Confession earned a merciful death. Strangulation, well, freaking hell. Before the stake. Oh, strangulation before the stake. Okay. And then recalling something suspects who maintained their innocence were buried alive. Well, bloody hell. Yes, you know. Anyway, they sunk because they would tie their hands behind their backs and dunk them in the water too on their chairs, paddle things. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Witch hunters and informers were paid for convictions, and many found it a profitable career. Yeah, I bet they did. The rising male medical establishment welcomed the change to stamp out midwives. I bet they did. Let's just read that again. The rising male medical establishment welcomed the change to stamp out midwives. I wonder why. Money, money, money. And village herbalists. Oh, I can't think why. It's like today, innit? Big Pharma. Ooh, Big Pharma, because everything's there in nature. Yeah, herbalists and their major economic competitors for others. The witch trials offered opportunities to rid themselves of the uppity women. What, you mean the women of the wild, the women who knew natural healers, midwives, you know, natural medicines. Can't think why. And disliked neighbours. Witches themselves say that few of those tried during the burning times actually belonged to covens or were members of the craft. The victims were the elderly, the senile, and the mentally ill. Women whose looks weren't pleasing or who suffered from some handicap because they thought if they looked different or they were ugly or whatever, well, they must be a witch. You know, anything that was different. Or who had aroused lust in a celibate priest or a married man. What? Because you couldn't look at a pretty woman without getting aroused, so therefore it's a woman's fault. Does make me laugh. Makes me laugh. Dollar Day do lunch. I have to go. Oh, thank you for coming in, Indigo Rays, and thank you for the little thing for Finn. Thank you. I'll speak to you soon. Night. Village beauties who bruised the wrong egos by rejecting advances. So if a man got rejected by a beautiful woman, therefore she must be a witch because he couldn't get his way, or he was rejected, you know, therefore she must be a witch. So, you know, just can't take being rejected. Or who homosexuals and free thinkers were caught in the same net. You see? That's the future proofs past. Anything different? At times, hundreds of victims were put to death in a day. In the bishopric or something of somewhere in Germany, 2 villages were left with only a single female inhabitant a piece after the trials of 1585. A single female. Oh my God. The witches and fairies who could do so escaped to the lands where the Inquisition did not reach. Some may have come to America. It is possible, I'm not going to read much more. It is possible that a genuine coven was meeting in the woods of Salem before the trials, which actually marked the end of the active persecution in the country. Some scholars believe that the family of Samuel and John Quincy Adams were members of the megalithic dragon cult, which kept alive the knowledge of the power of the stone circles. There's that thing again, cult which kept alive. You know when we say a cult and it means hidden knowledge, yeah, the hidden knowledge, it had to be hidden, and it did go underground, dark and light and all that. Circles. Certainly the independent spirit of witchcraft is very much akin to many of the ideas of the founding fathers. For example, freedom of speech. Oh, what's that? Freedom of speech and worship, decentralized government, and the rights of the individual rather than the divine right of kings. Future proves past. In America, as in Europe, the craft went underground. Well, it had to go underground because look what was happening. I mean, you know, some of the bad people knew as well, but it had to go underground, you know, called hidden knowledge, because look what was happening. This is what people just don't understand, do they? Yeah. Underground and became the most secret of religions. Traditions were passed down only to those who could be trusted. Absolutely. Usually to members of the same family. I mean, that's where everyone goes in with the Illuminati in the same family. Well, yeah. But both sides know. So you can get into all that as well. But this is why it had to, you know, that's why it had to happen. Who could be trusted? Usually the members of the same family. Communications between covens were served. No longer could they meet on the great festivals to share knowledge and exchange the results of spells or rituals. Parts of the tradition became lost or forgotten, yet somehow in secret, in silence, over glowing coals, behind closed shutters, encoded as fairy tales. Yes, because you know when we say, oh, it's only fairy tales, it's only fantasy, it's like, yeah, really? No. And folk songs, or hidden in subconscious memories, the seed was passed on. Dun dun dun! After the persecutions ended in the 18th century came the age of disbelief. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Yeah. And it's one of them in it. I believe. Do you believe? Peter Pan? What we've got to do, nobody believes anymore. You've got to believe. Tinkerbell, you've got to believe. If you don't believe, Tinkerbell will die, or whatever the thing is. Do you know what I mean? Everyone lost. Everyone forgot. Everyone fell asleep. Everyone stopped believing. You know? What have we got any in chat? I don't know. So, I don't know. Have we? I don't know. So, yeah. Well, I'm not looking at the minute. Yeah, I definitely believe. Exactly. Gotta believe people. So, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Where did I go to? Only. Oh, yeah, came the age of disbelief. So, memory of the true craft had faded. The hideous stereotypes that remained seemed I can't say it. Let me see if I can say it. Ludicrous, laughable or tragic. That, I mean, isn't that what it is today? You know, only in this century have witches been able to come out of the broom closet. You could say that, so to speak, and counter the imagery of evil with truth. The word witch carries so many negative connotations that many people wonder why we use the word at all. I say bring it back. I know it's a label, but then, you know. Yet to reclaim the word witch is to reclaim our rights as women, to be powerful as men, to know the feminine within as divine. To be a witch is to identify with 9 million victims of bigotry and hatred, and to be taken responsibility for shaping a world in which prejudice responsibility for shaping a world with prejudiced claims, no more victims. A witch is a shaper, a creator who blends the unseen into form and so becomes one of the wise, one whose life is infused with magic. Oh yes, energy. Ooh, universal energy. I told you it was great, Lois. This book is beautiful. When I got it and other stuff it was saying in it, nearly spat my tea out, parts of it. And we've got Leona from Australia. Yes. Witchcraft has always been a religion of poetry, not theology. The myths, legends, and teachings are recognised as metaphors. So I like to talk in metaphors. It's metaphors that which can be told. The absolute reality our limited minds can never completely know. Because you try and explain something about energy, magic, whatever you want to call it, and you're trying to explain certain things that you can't put there. And through experiences, people go, I want facts. And it's like, you put it out in metaphors, and it, like, I know a lot of you know what I'm talking about. It's like, oh my God. Oh, was he? Yeah. Some people say, we've got the dark side as well over there. Limited minds can never completely know. The mysteries of the absolute can never be explained, only felt or intuited. It's true, you can't explain it. You're just like, it's, like, because you experience it and you're like, you're intuitive, you feel it. You're like, it's just that when you try and explain things, and to muggles, let's call them, they're just like, what? Where's the facts and the figures and the what? And it's like, it starts talking in meta, and you're like, and they're like, what? And it's like, never mind, non-believing, go back to sleep, like it just said in the book before, So, yeah. So, symbols and ritual acts are used to trigger altered states of awareness. Altered states of awareness. This is where other people go, yeah. Oh, well, yeah, what do you mean? Do you mean altered states of, what they do on that side? Like, no, we're not talking about that, what they do. In which insights that go beyond words have revealed, I mean, they know anyway. When we speak of the secrets that cannot be told, we do not mean merely the rules prevent us from speaking freely. We mean that the inner knowledge literally cannot be expressed in words. It can't, a lot of it. That's why it's in metaphor. That's why a lot of things I'll draw down, because draw down. It just comes out. That's why people sing and do poetry and draw and art and dance and make music, because it comes through you that way, because it can't be, it's expressed divinely like that. Don't really need to know everything. Yeah, so, yeah, exactly. But I know a lot of you know exactly what I'm talking about. Can we view, when we speak expressed in words, it can only be conveyed by experience, like I've said. I know the path I'm on is right for me and blah, 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 because it's what I'm experiencing, and what I'm experiencing is my experience, but all this, what we were just saying then, is when you experience it. You can't always explain it to people, and I've even said to my fella, it doesn't really matter what people think, I'm experiencing it, so it's fine. I don't need to explain it to anybody else, as long as it makes sense to me, which it does. And I can't always get that out properly, not even on here sometimes, but then again, a lot of you know what I'm talking about. And no one can legislate the insight another person may draw from any given experience. For example, exactly, there's a lot of people out there who think they can, but it's like, you can, no one can legislate the insight another person may draw from any given experience. From example, after the ritual described at, I'm going to finish this in a minute and I'll read a bit more. Yeah. The opening of this chapter, one woman said, as we were chanting, I felt that we blended together and became one voice. I sensed the thing at the beginning. I sensed the oneness of everybody. Another woman said, I became aware of how different the chant sounded for each of us, of how unique each person is, because they are. A man said simply, I felt loved. To a witch, all these statements are equally true and valid. They are no more contradictory than the statements, your eyes are as bright as the stars and your eyes are as blue as the sea. The primary symbol for that which cannot be told is the God, the goddess. The goddess has infinite aspects and thousands of names. Just like I was saying the other day, I have many facets and things because goddess has 1,000 names. She is the reality behind many metaphors. She is reality, the manifest deity, omnipresent in all life in each of us. The goddess is not separate from the world. She is the world and all the things in it. Moon, sun, earth, star, stone, seed, flowing river, wind, wave, leaf and branch, bud and blossom, fang and claw, women and men. In witchcraft, flesh and spirit are one. They are. Flesh and spirit are one. They're not separate. Some people think they are. They think God's a separate thing. No, goddess is a thing. No. Flesh and spirit are one. As we have seen, goddess religion is unimaginably old, but I can't even say that. I can't say that. Witchcraft could just as accurately be called the new religion, the craft. Today is undergoing more than a revival. It is actually. I know that. It is experience. A lot of people came through Harry Potter, which is, they're just playing at it. But there's a few things. The craft today is undergoing more than a revival. It's an experiencing. Renaissance, I think it says there, a recreation. Women are exploring this renewal and actively reawakening the goddess, the image of the legitimacy and beneficence of female power, and that is what's happening. And that is definitely what's happening. Just what I found to work for me. Still learning about it though. What you two talking about? Oh yeah, the numbers. Are you seeing your numbers again? Oh yeah, keep an eye on them. Since the decline of the goddess religion, women have lacked religious models and spiritual systems. We're not talking about the man-made. They speak to feminine needs and experience. Male images of divinity characterize both Western and Eastern religions, regardless of how abstract the underlying concept of God may be. The symbols, avatars, preachers, prophets, gurus, and Buddhas are overwhelmingly male. Not for long. Women are not encouraged to explore their own, or they weren't, explore their own strengths and realizations. They were taught to submit to the male authority and identify masculine perceptions as their spiritual ideas. No. To deny their bodies and sexuality to fit their insight into the male mold. Yeah, we're breaking free of that again. Mary Daly, author of Beyond God the Father, points out that the model of the universe in which a male god rules the cosmos from outside serves to legitimize male control of social institutions, which is true because it's not outside herself. There's female and male, so that's is about control as far as I see it as well. Spawned in the human imagination and sustained as plausible by patriarchy, has in turn rendered service to the type of society by making its mechanisms for the oppression of women appear right and fitting. The unconscious model continues to shape the perceptions even of those who have continuously rejected religious teachings. The details of one dogma are rejected, but the underlying structure of belief is embedded at so deep a level it is rarely questioned. Instead, a new dogma, a parallel structure, replaces the old. For example, many people have rejected the revealed truth of Christianity without ever questioning the underlying concept that the truth is a set of beliefs revealed through the agency of a great man, possessed of powers or intelligence beyond ordinary human scope. They're going about him like that. Was he magical or a witch or something? They don't say anything about that. Christ, the great man, and I believe in Christ consciousness. Christ, the great man, may be replaced by Buddha, Freud, Marx, Jung. Just going about a load of names. in their theology. But truth is always seen as coming from someone else. As the only knowledgeable second hand, as feminist scholar Carol Christ points out, symbol systems cannot simply be rejected, they must be replaced. Where there is no replacement, the mind will revert to familiar structures as times of crisis, befuddlement, I can't say, or defeat. I'm going to come in chat in a minute. I'm getting to the end of this page and that's it. The symbolism of goddess is not a parallel structure to the symbolism of God the Father. The goddess does not rule the world. She is the world. Remember when I said, He-Man said, I have the power, but She-Ra said, I am the power. Manifest in each of us, she can be known internationally by every individual in a magnificent diversity. She does not legitimize the rule of either sex by the other and lends no authority to rulers or temporal Harkairis, I can never say that. In witchcraft, each of us must reveal our own truth. Deity is seen in our own forms, whether female or male, because the goddess has her male aspect. Sexuality is a sacrament. Religion is a matter of relinking with the divine within. It's not nothing separate. And with her outer manifestations in all of the human and the natural world, the symbolism of the goddess is promagic, I can't say, a term coined by Arton somebody, described its special function of including and symbolizing the ego's creativity. It has a dreamlike, slippery quality. One aspect slips into another. She is constantly changing form and changing face. Her images do not define a pin down, a set of attributes. They spark inspiration, creation, fertility of mind and spirit. One thing becomes another in the mother, Funny that, because that's what I said about, I'm not one thing, I'm many. I can be many. Ritual chant for the winter solstice. The importance of the goddess symbol for women cannot be overstressed. The image of a goddess inspires women to see ourselves as a divine. Our bodies are sacred and the changing phases of lives as holy. Our aggression as healthy, our anger as purifying, and our power to mature and create, but also to limit and destroy when necessary, as a very force that sustains all life, like nature does. Through the goddess, we can discover our strength, enlighten our minds, own bodies, and celebrate our emotions. We can move beyond the narrow, constricting roles and become whole. The goddess is important for men. The oppression of men in Father God ruled patriarchy is perhaps less obvious than less tragic than that of a woman. Men are encouraged to identify with a model no human being can successfully emulate, to be mini rulers of narrow universe. They are initially split into a spiritual self that is supposed to conquer their basier animal and emotional natures. They are at war with themselves in the west to conquer sin, in the east to conquer desire and ego. Few escape from these undamaged. Men lose touch with their feelings and their bodies, becoming the successful male zombies described by Herb Goldberg in The Hazards of Being Male. Oppressed by the cultural pressures that have been denied him his feelings by the mythology of women and the distorted and self-destructive way he has related to her, by the urgency for him to act like a man, which blocks his ability to respond to his inner prompting, both emotionally and physiologically, and by a generalized self-hate that causes him to feel comfortable only when he is functioning well in harness, not when he lives for joy and personal growth. And I'm going to leave it there, and I'll read a bit more another day. I just had to get a bit of that out because it was like whoop whoop, and wait till you hear another bit in it where I nearly spat my tea out. And you'll know why when I read it out, if you actually see it when I read it out. So yes, my reading was okay. Yeah, it is Christy. It's about the balance. But because women and the energy of the divine feminine has been suppressed, and it has thousands of years, it's rising up not to be above man, to be in balance. Because they're together anyway. We have both the energies. Women have masculine energies in with them, and men have, just like I said in there, feminine energies. It's about balance, and that's where it's heading. And the divine feminine is rising. If you've seen a lot of women talking about stuff, because it is rising, coming in to alignment, you know. And this is what the men have to realize. It's not a women hate men of the thing that they've tried to put out there with the whole female brigade men hating squad, you know. That's just the mix up that they put out there in the news, and that to get women like that. And then women are hating men, and there was a men group that were hating women. So if men and women are hating each other, how do we reproduce and all that? But they want that because it goes along with the whole depopulation plan, doesn't it? Just saying. Just saying. So yeah, but we are rising. Not forgotten to try have a giggle from time to time. Yep. Oh yes. Oh yes. Dolly, we just like to hear you talk and take our minds off things. Thank you, Coyote. Yeah, Eve was saying today as well, she just loves me talking because my accent, even though she said it's not where I think her family were from, reminds her of home. Even Liverpudlian, even though I'm not Liverpudlian. And a lot of people have said that. They said, oh, it's just your accent reminds me of home. So it's funny for people in the UK anyway. I've seen it in my wife. She's gone through an amazing transformation the past couple of years. Yeah, and if you're a guy with a girlfriend, a partner, a wife, whatever, and you're seeing that transformation, I believe there's a lot of women going through it, even if they're getting on it and they don't know. Like, I've had a friend who's like, I'm on this path and I don't exactly know what it is, but I'm on it and I'm trying to follow it. And I'm like, this other goddess book, I'm like, get this book, read it, chill out, read this. You'll be like, oh yes, you know. Oh yes, I prefer the term scouser. Yes. So yeah. What does it say on the bottom of there? The spirit of the equinox. So yeah. And we have been talking about this a long time about, you know, a lot of people know about these energies rising, especially the feminine divine energies means women are standing up as well. And that's what Eve was telling me today, the lovely lady who rang me was telling me about the energy of the stuff that I'd made of him. She was like, yes, you know, it's great and it's rising and you're up there with other people, you know, keeping people, well, talking about this and keeping people up in the positivity. Your accent reminds me, I wouldn't mind an English or Irish gent as a boyfriend. You could never be angry. No. Yeah, I've just, yeah. Well, there's lots of things going on out there. I'm still just chilling, you know, like, yes. I'm talking about witches. Let's pull a card out of the Witch's Wisdom deck. Like I said, the reason why the Democrats have this star that way round is because that is materialism over spirituality. That way round is spirituality, spirit over materialism. Yeah. And we'll be talking about divination soon because a lot of people don't realise there's a lot of divination. You could be using cards, pendulums, crystals, lots of different things. But I will be doing a chat on what I've got and how I see it. You're going to be in for some witchy chat soon. And some fun crafting. Witchcraft. Some fun crafting as well. Yeah, men never grow up from the cave days, yeah. No wonder they wanted women out of the way. Oh, you can't be, you know, we want to be in control. Balance. More cards. Oh, we got in bulk, but we got the awakening. It says awakening. Let's go for another one. So it's not on its own. It can be like feminine and masculine. Thank you all. As ever, you have all got me grinning from ear to ear tonight. Love you all. Well, thank you, Rainbow Wizard. You're all having a laughing chat. That's what it's all about, especially in these times. So that's good. But like I said, I just wanted to come on to share that story, what Eve was saying about, you know, she could feel the energies of what I'd sent her. I said that's what it's about, the intentions that were on it. I was doing some energy work with my sister today. She loved it. I've just had a really calm day. Like I said, the beautiful message I got off Eve, especially saying, you know, she's been watching me grow, and it's a beautiful thing to see. So off people on the other side who are watching me to tell me that, and a lot of you have told me that, it's nice. It's nice. It's nice. So we've just got 3 cards fall out, and we've got, oh, are you ready for this? we got remembrance. Remembrance. Don't know if you can see, it's got like gold on the floor and a skull with a skeleton with a sword, and then it's got 2 stones, bit paganisy, well obviously the witchy cards outside. Remembrance, it's a bit like remember who you were, remember who you once were in a past life. And then we got, yeah, because it says ancestors on it as well at the top, ancestors, and it says remembrance. And then we've got secret, Book of Shadows. I'll be talking about that soon, actually. Book of Shadows, secrets. Book of Shadows are really your things with your spells and your things that you like and information and stuff. That's what you put in your book, in your journal. And then the last one that came out, because as we were talking about it with the feminine and masculine energies, is balance. And if you see, you've got the dark and the light, because we have the dark and the light in nature, and we have the dark and the light in the seasons, and we are going to dark to light, people, wink wink, nudge nudge, in the 3D as well, bringing heaven to earth, because to have heaven on earth, things have to change in the 3D physical realm, and that's a certain somebody and other people all around the world are doing certain stuff to break down structures, old structures, so we can therefore have heaven on earth, better way of living for all beings. So yeah, balance, and that is, you know, that's balancing your mind state out as well. A lot of people in the brain that thinks it's intellectual and has to have the facts and figures of everything like that. No, you need to get on the other side and balance that out a little bit. So yes, and what I will do as well is I will just pull a card, just because these are upstairs, pull a card from the Work Your Light deck. I think we'll have 3. We'll try and go for the Trinity. Woo-hoo-hoo. I'm just trying to think if there's any. Oh yeah, if anyone interested as well, I'll show you this in a minute before I go. What time is it? Yeah, we're all right. Nearly 11. 11. Right. There's this Gina lady who finds out lots of... Yeah, I see. You mean Gina? Yeah, Gina Marie. Yeah, I've seen her now and again doing a plasma and the things from... Yeah. Oh, we've got... Yeah, we got that card. Let's go for 3 cards. Yeah, I've seen Gina. She does a bit of dancing sometimes. But right, we've got 3. What have we got here? That's what we've just been talking about. Star Mother. How can you mother yourself? Well, you know, how can you mother yourself? Be looking after yourself. Self-care, self-love is what I've been talking about. Like Mother Mary there. And then we got... Remember we got the tower before in this deck? We've got it again, because we know this is going on. The crumbling towers. What are you clinging on to? You need to let go. Shit's happening. People's towers are falling down. Well, they need to, because the old structure is falling down, so you need to let go and flow. Let go, let go. And then the last one, funnily enough, I've just been talking about the goddess. Priestesses, rise up, priestesses. It says on the card, how are you being called to step up and lead? Because there will be, it's funny because people have said there will be a lot of women leaders. I don't mean controllers, I mean standing up, bringing the divine energy in, because a lot of nurturing and all that sort of energy that comes with the divine feminine is well needed and is going to be needed. So women, get your goddess big knickers on, you know, like that film, what's she called, where she's dating, what's she called, all by myself, what's she called, Bridget Jones's knickers on. Get your big knickers on, pull them up, because you are being called, and you're being called to step up and lead it, whatever, however all that is. Even if it's, you don't have to be on YouTube, you could be stepping up in your power at home and everywhere. That's why I say I stand in my truth and my divinity and my, you know, like I said before with these cards that I pulled before, my strength and my light, because I won't budge from what I believe in just because other people don't, or they think it's evil or bad or whatever it is, without even the ignorance of people that don't research stuff. So, you know, but that's them, not me. I'm sure there'll be people like that with this chat or some chats that are going to come, but that's up to them. At the end of the day, that isn't me. Where have I just put them? So, oh yeah, so they matched up. At some point I would be Masters Attunement, but yeah, just, well, we're going to go back to being face to face, do you know what I mean? I did my face to face. Sneaky, sneaky. Gotta do what you gotta do. Anyway, I'm just going to show you. I'm going to be talking about this book because I've had these on and off through the years. Oh yeah, any new drawings I've not called this in yet. I've done The Witchy Woo and Cone of Power, and this one going on, that's not finished yet. Did I start another one? No. And I got this the other day. It started, obviously we're in March, we're at the beginning, so I haven't lost out a lot, but I will be talking about this because it is a date book. It shows you all the moons and everything, and some of you may have seen these before, but how I used to use them. I used to doodle in these as well, pictures alongside the sides. I don't know if Sue Clark's still in, but you would have seen these. I think I've had about 2 of these, and I always forget every year, and then I thought, oh my god, I haven't got it. And it has a lot of has recipes in it. It has the holidays in it, the Sabbaths and stuff like that. Information at the beginning on certain things like, oh, let me open, I'm going to show you in a minute. The planets and certain bits and bobs. But it is, if I get this name right, Llewellyn's Witches Date Book 2021. It's just a cute date book, and you have all your dates, and then you have all your little has pictures in it, and it'll tell you about the different, you know, you've got like caramelized peach salad. It has little recipes in it as well, so it is a really cute book if any of you are interested, but I'm going to be showing it in daylight so you can get a proper, going on about Ostara Ovosit, which is coming up soon, around about the 20th of March, which is the spring equinox, and hopefully I'll be doing something arty for that. I might come and do it on YouTube, and it's on a Saturday, so I might be able to do it with Finn if he's here. If not, he'll probably do it before, but yeah, it's just going on about plants and things. So this is if you're, you know, a bit witchy way, pagan or something, you might really like these little notebooks. They're really, really cute, and I got mine on eBay, so I haven't left it too late. I always bloody forget. I'm listening, eyes closed, so you're not in chat. Hi, Astral Thief. So I'm just gonna, where's that? And you've got all like the moon phases and that as well, so you don't forget. You know, it will show you. Let me show you. It will show you. When's the next one on? Yeah, you'll have little moons and little full moons here and everything in it. You'll have little things down there that tell you about the star signs in and the colour and all that sort of stuff. So it's a cute little book. Cute little book. It says on the back, filled with everyday tips and in-depth ideas, Llewellyn's Witch's Datebook is designed to help you connect to the spirit and enhance your skill in the craft. Because that's what witchcraft, if it's a craft, it's an ongoing thing of a practice. Which wise women and the craft, which is energy work, what we do with healing stuff. It's also crafting things. That's why I craft a lot of things as well, all sorts of different things. That's why it's a beautiful practice, because you never stop learning and you're doing things all the time. It's just endless. The date book features breathtaking illustrations from award-winning artist Jennifer, I think it's Hewitson, as well as spells, or how-to instructions, recipes, and more to help you achieve your magical goals all year long. You've got the Sabbaths, musing, you've got Sabbaths, you've got tasty recipes, magical tips, Celtic tree months, social media, but you've got bits on moon and law phases for success, but you've just got all bits and bobs. So it's for men as well, but I will show you another time when I'm talking about stuff, and I will flick through it when the lighting's a little bit better. Being creative is so important at this time. It is. And that's a lot that they try to take away. But I'll just say before I go, I've seen so many people being so creative all over YouTube, not just on YouTube, out there, this, that and the other, getting creative. New channels that I found the other day that have sprung up in 2020 of when people have been in and what they've been doing to enchant their life and make things better and look on the brighter side of things while we're going through certain things. That's what you should be concentrating on, making your life a little bit brighter in these times until it subsides and goes, because it will. Nothing lasts forever. If you look back in the past with certain things that were going on, like Spanish flu and God knows what way back, these things that they put out there, it will go. So, like I said, it's all here, and how you think and how you look at things and how you look through things through your lens, and creativeness is a really brilliant way to get your mind off other things that you don't really need to be focusing on. Being creative connects you to the light source. Yes, it does. And that's why I think, a lot of things were coming in for me, because I'm a creative person anyway, but got more and more and more creative. And like I said, and that comes through imagination as well, and source comes through you, through your vessel, and that's how you create, sing, make music, dance, write, art, whatever it is that you do. In that sense, that's what we do. That's how we move and that's how we flow. So Llewellyn Stuff is great company. I remember I used to be drawn to all the books a long time ago. You should look out for the book I owe to the it's called Llewellyn's Witch's Datebook 2021. So it's like a little date book, and you can, it's nice. It's nice, got a lovely feeling to it. So I hope you enjoyed my chat and my story time that I try to read. But like I said, there's going to be new chats coming up at where I'm going now and what I'm thinking of going into now, with part of what I was doing, have been doing for a very, very long time, even when I didn't know what I was doing. And that will start next week. Oh my God, did you watch it? You finally watched the movie Soul. It was pretty good. It was, even though it's a kid's thing, I was like, oh my God, that's how I see it. If you haven't seen Soul, the movie, the cartoon, you need to go and see it. If we stay in the joy energy, it rises. Yes, it does. And that's why I try to be in that energy most of the time. We get knocks, but you just get back in it. It's like, all right, okay. Yes, we do love you, David. Oh, yeah, I love the Yakata family as well. Yeah, so thank you, Leona. So I'll be back most likely next week on Monday. I might be just doing might have to change the days. I don't know, but it'll be a bit of a change. Thank you, Lois. And because I've got Finn this weekend. Might pop on tomorrow in the day. I don't know. I might be showing you what I'm doing with my avocado, but or avocados. But I'm gonna go because it's getting late when I just want to do a bit of doodling, a bit of creativeness before bed, and I will see you soon. So, like I said, it was just thank you to the birthday wishes. Thank you, Eve, for your beautiful phone call today, and the beautifulness that was said in that phone call was just like, oh, and she also said helping people when you know, she's on her own, someone at home who can tune in and feel, like she said, feel the feeling she's had inside her since a young girl of this path and the things that I'll be talking about next of, you remember the painting I did that I still got with the woman behind the flowers, the unfolding, and oh yes, Lois has put in his coffee donation on my email there, or there is super chat, but that's, you know, free will, people. But yeah, it's just beautiful, and it's beautiful when another generation has come to me and said that, and it was just like really lovely to hear, and it inspires me to carry on and to talk about what I'm going to be talking about next, because it is a part of magic that is within people, and even if they never wanted to say things years ago because of the ridicule or ridicule that we get anyway, I'm going to be talking about it. Yeah, blessings to all in chat. I'm going to have to start saying blessed be, people. Yeah, I love much and blessings to you all. And I know some of you in chat have made friends and you go Skyping each other and all that, and you met on my channel, so that's really nice. You know what I'm talking to. So I've been told. Blessings to all on chat. Yeah, so have a great night, evening, morning, whatever time, wherever it is, wherever you are. Thanks all for coming in, because I don't know how long I've been on for, and I'm going to go and chill my beans now. And yeah. Tomorrow's another day. Is it Friday tomorrow? Tomorrow's another day. And yes, 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 I knew you knew what I was talking about. Let me have a look. I'm sure it's Venus Day tomorrow with Friday Venus Day. Oh, I'm sure it is. There's a green. Oh, did that just go off then? Yes. So Friday, tomorrow, I want you all to look after yourself and give yourself self-love. Do something nice, because Venus is representing Friday, which is love and pleasure, which goes with pleasure, enjoyment, relationships, cooperation, erotic love, sexual desire, beauty, romance, attraction, love, and art and music. So shit, I better be doing some more art tomorrow. But yes, getting that sort of vibe. Be loving towards your partner if you've got one, and get up in the old Venus energy, and be kind to yourself as well. And that's all that. Bye everyone, with lots of love. And I can go to bed. Yeah, you can go to bed now, Colin. You can go to bed now. You can all go to bed. But yeah, so nice shop on Instagram. Wow, so cool. I tried to get a shop, but I didn't hear back. I will try again. Or you can on there. You just make your own thing, you know, on Instagram. But yes, nice. Anyway, I'm gonna go. But thanks all for coming in and putting all the nice messages and emojis and everything. And you may see me tomorrow, maybe just popping up in the day. But if not, you will see me on Monday Moon Day. Monday Moon Day. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Thank you.